Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Locker Room Sports Talk. I'm your host, Big Matt. Thank you for coming by and hanging out with me here on your madness of Monday. Bowl week is coming in hot. We got a new bracket. It's going to drop tomorrow night, so we got to talk about the AP poll and what's happened and some guys moving around. Sorry we missed you there on Sunday night. Has stuff come up, but hey, we're going to make it up today. Let's talk about it, and let's just jump right into it. Let's get it on and see what are the topics at hand today. Well. There's still talk about coaches in Alabama moving around. And what I think is kind of funny is if they're not really that good and people's hating on them, then why are they trying to get their coaches? What's going on with that? So the rumors are, we've heard ESPN, starts talking about it like Wednesday or Thursday of last week about DeBoer being reached out to from Penn State. I talked about it Tuesday. So if you're here, you're on the show Tuesday night, I talked about it a day before they did. It's just what I'd picked up on a Penn State message board, just accidentally. I think most of those rumors have been put to bed. I don't think there's any reciprocation from Coach DeBoer looking to leave Bama. Now, the tensions are high. Everything is on the line. This is the most pressure in his or most of his staff's career ever. We're talking about you're going to miss the playoffs if you don't win the game Saturday at Auburn. I know you're thinking, well, to him, it's just like, well, they're just, 5-win team. They're already that good. And a lot of that may be true. But Auburn has a Bama package that they work in through the year. They're always constantly trying to keep up with Big Brother. And that's just the way it is. This is their national championship game. They're just trying to go bowling. They're just trying to be relevant just to keep some recruits. Bama still got a lot of football ahead of them. And pressure like that could bring, a lot of people talking. A lot of names want to come out. So the board of Penn State, there's some things that we saw about that. Now here's another one that you may have not heard. Grubb to Cal for their job. Grubb may be heading back out west to go to California. I don't think so. I think the Taji guy, I think he's he's like the defensive analyst out at Oregon, works for Lanning. I think he's probably going to be the guy to take the job. Feels like Grubb is probably just getting started. Does he want to be a head coach? Sure. I'm probably pretty sure that he does. But his offense ain't been looking real hot here for the past month. I don't know how high his name really would be on a coaching list, honestly. I'm just being real. I'm a fan of the SEC, and sure, we got, Bama stuff back over here. You can see behind me. And then I got Georgia and Auburn and stuff. So, that's just is what it is. The pressure is high here, and it's not for everybody. And maybe the family may not like it here. Maybe they, want to scatter out and go up north or go back out west. I do know this for sure. I got into a little mix-up with Grubb's wife last year. I just kind of questioned, on the site there, why, would he not come? Why would he dip out on his buddy like that? And his wife come in and responded to me and, pretty much just like, it's just not the right time and, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, okay, appreciate you responding and y'all have a great day. She's a Michigan graduate. They're about the same age, I guess. But she's a Michigan grad. And so his ties can be from up that way. You know, I guess maybe Grubb would want to take the Cal job. I'm hearing no that your guy, the Taji guy at Oregon, he's the defensive analyst coordinator, not the defensive coach at Oregon. He's probably the guy going to take the job at Cal. Now, there's still another spot. There's still another job opening out there. And maybe some of you have heard this one. If you have, hit the comments. And if you haven't, hit the thumbs up on the video. I appreciate it. Like it. Subscribe to the channel. I'm on here every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. But this week's a little funky, so we're going to come on tonight instead of Thursday. Then we're going to do a regular Big Talk Tuesday. Y'all come back tomorrow night at 6. We're going to talk about probably break down the Iron Bowl and really get into the games and really break these down and talk about some analysis and stat stuff. So go ahead and hit the thumbs up while you're here. Womack, defensive coach in Alabama, has done an outstanding job from the defense. He has brought this defense back to the prominent times and made a lot of Alabama fans feel like, man, it's just like it was when Kirby was here. We just, feel like it's just thriving like it used to be. And me, being a guy born in the 70s, I watched Bama all the way through the 80s and 90s and stuff. There was times there, man, that 92 championship, Gene Stallings' team, for a while, this defense kind of had that little bit of a feel to it. Now, teams didn't throw the ball quite as much back then, but when they run into Miami and Gino Torretta, they did throw the ball a lot, and they bragged about how they were going to throw the ball a lot against Bama. Bama killed that. Everybody knows stories, seen the Teague, whatever, run down the Miami player and take the ball from him. This defense is clicking along, man, pretty high right now. So Womack he was mentioned for the Oklahoma State job. Has anybody else heard that? Is there any well, there's smoke, there's fire. But I've heard it twice now. I heard it back. I heard that actually before the Penn State stuff. I read the Penn State stuff about the board, honestly, accidentally. I go through other boards of other places, and these schools that don't have coaches, I go on there, some of their, chat pages and just see what they're talking about and jump there and mix it up a little bit. Usually I'm just see who they're looking for, what coaches are they interested in. So is Womack, is he somebody of interest for Oklahoma State? I've heard it twice now, so I don't know. I don't want to say no and just kind of be naive and foolish and say, well, yeah, by God, he's at Bama. I mean, when you don't leave Bama, when the tide calls, you get Bama and you don't go nowhere. That, I guess that may be a little truth to that. It is a prominent program. Their brand is worldwide. They have great facilities there. But as DeBoer and Grubb really finding out this year, this actually run him out of the booth. He seems they're pretty worried about, how they're playing right now, and that's fair. They should be worried about that. So are some of the coaches maybe ready to head out? Can they not take the SEC pressure? Because it's just a little different out here. It just is. Now, speaking about some coaching stuff, is Summerall waiting for Kiffin to hit the road and take that $100 million, I'm hearing $100 million 9-year, 10-year deal. I mean, what was 10-year? Yeah. 10 years, $100 million, $25 million a year NIL at LSU for Lane Kiffin. So if Summerall at Tulane, is he waiting on his team to maybe get in the playoffs? Going to see how that kind of turns out for them. Is that where this is going to go? If it does turn out that way, where does this leave Auburn? Now, I'm reading a lot of Auburn fans have just pretty much made it a foregone conclusion that they are just really, really interested in. Why are you doing that? No, I don't want to do that. That they're just really, really interested in to keep Dirk in there. I mean, really. All right, everybody, we'll get the chats up on the screen here live. So what y'all thinking about some of the coaching searches and Manuel? Emerald Mac, what's going on, Big Daddy? Good to see you. Aaron, ESPN's listening to you Tuesday. I know. There's two stories that I broke before they did. This one was by accident, but now there is a story, and I have documented proof of me dropping this story. I mean, I recorded it about kind of why Saban left. I had word from a coach that is friends with another coach. They were talking. These are two. One's still coaching high school, but he has a connection to Alabama. And some of you that know me will be able to put it together, but I'm not going to say. Well, he talked to Saban, this guy, the high school coach, to ask him, after the Michigan game, what was up. And long story short, Nick brought in some tax people to go over these players' NIL deal. And he was very disgusted when the first thing that some of them asked was about their money. And he didn't feel like someone had earned it and had played very well. And it kind of teed him off. And those kind of things had set things in motion, the wheels were already turning for him to move on. But I broke that story. It's like a week before AL.com even talked about it. Okay, yes, appreciate you looking out for me there, man. I'm 6'4", about 280, and usually bench press around the mark about 405 or 415. But, height versus weight disapproval, if I need your approval, then I'm living a short life, and I'm not really short like you in many other ways. So, but appreciate you looking out there, big dog. What's going on there, Big Daddy? Yeah, I don't know if don't get too big too fast for grub. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I just kind of asked, and she didn't kind of like it. Yeah, I don't know. I did see that. I saw that Kelly had moved. They've let him go from calling offense at Vegas at the Raiders. Is he interested in coming back to college, or what's up with that? Well, Summerall is there. I don't know, man. Is he waiting on that job to come in and take off so he can take the Ole Miss job? Is the Ole Miss job better than the Auburn job? That's probably a great question. Yeah, some people are saying they don't want. What's up, Jeff? They don't want Durkin. Yeah, Georgia high school stuff. Carrollton 51, Harrelson 6. Darn. Yes. Let's hit back over here to the notes. Now, we talked about Summerall, and is he, is it kind of a done deal? I mean, do you think I think he's number one on the list for Auburn. I do. I think he's probably very high on their list for them to pick up. So, yes. Who else do you get, though? I mean, I'm trying to think, like, where I just have, the Dillingham stuff to Auburn's just went silent. Like, I mean, I think that he may have put some quiet on that. I'm not. I don't know, man. There's going to be some guys move around. I'll tell you this. I think that there's going to be a head coaching spot come open that maybe we didn't expect to come open. I think that may be something real. I think that may be something real, that there is going to be a spot come open like one that you didn't think somebody's going to want to jump on one of those big jobs like at Florida or something. The relevant power rankings come out last night, and Bama's at 9 in the new power rankings, and Notre Dame was at 10, BYU was at 11. But here was what was interesting: they got Miami at 12. I thought that's pretty interesting. So Miami being at 12 in the new power ratings, you know why they're putting them up there. They're trying to keep Miami relevant so they can keep Notre Dame in there. They're trying. That's all this is about. All this is about. Yeah, I know that was some of my open remarks there, Jeff. We come in and Grubb's name got brought up for the head coaching job at Cal. I don't know if there's any, want to for that. Over, I got to hire Harsin, then the next guy will be their guy. I don't know. I guess they'll have to hire him back, I guess. Lincoln Riley may move, and that opens up to, yeah, and that, I think that may be what Kelly's waiting on. The USC job, Chip Kelly, from moving from the Raiders, him getting let go. So, he ran Oregon great. I mean, we all know what he did out there at Oregon. And, he's been out there, been out west for a while. He was at, where was he at? UCLA. And because he was the one that originally recruited Dante Moore, which is at Oregon now. He's the one that brought him in. He come to UCLA. And Kelly put him in for a game, and he threw a bunch of picks, and he took him out. And he never put him back in. So, rumors have it Kiffin's going to Florida, according to the trophy winners. They're all in on Lane. Lane gets to LSU, then they rehire Coach. I don't. Right now, the hot news from Fine Bam and some of those jackwagons is it's a 10-year deal, $100 million for Lane to go to LSU, and a $25 million a year NIL purse too. Wow. Let's see. So that's power ratings. Oh yes, Georgia offensive lineman Daniels. We need Burge on here. They lost another guy from the team. Offensive lineman Daniels. You can find it in the news. I heard it yesterday. Something. His mom was tied up in somehow in this situation. He was clocked at speeds of 150 plus. He got arrested, man. A bunch of crap happened, so he's off the team. So Georgia loses another prospect for offensive line. Man, what is the deal out there? I quit counting it. Me and Todd had it counted one time. This is back last year. It was like at 53. Georgia has had 53 arrests for speeding and that type of stuff. And they're all vehicular speedings and racing or wrecks and drinking or driving or what is the deal, man? They really need – I'm sure Kirby's had brought somebody in or something. Jesus Christ, man, come on. These players are just driving – man, $25 million NFL today. Well, Texas is spending 40. That's just a one-time thing. Are they going to do that every year? I don't know. LSU supposedly is telling him that he's got $25 million every year that he's there. But there was some criteria-based things attached to that with a nice little paperclip. But I think that they wanted him to be able to, like, you got to at least win 9 games a year. There's stipulations to his contract there at LSU, and the way the governor and mayor and the state attorney, they're really locked in. There's a lot of people involved in this deal with LSU and their state representatives and their government. I don't know. I mean, who of you? I mean, would y'all be interested in? Yeah, I don't know if I'd be interested. I don't know, because here's the thing: we're talking about Lane and going to LSU. He has a lot of control with the purse money at Ole Miss. As far as I've heard, he's 100% control there. He don't have anybody road dogging him or tapping him on the shoulder, or it's like when he goes to the meeting about the NIL money, it's me, myself, and I, and he just kind of handles it. And he's been and I'm telling you, I don't think that's the way it's going to be at LSU. And maybe that may be something that's holding him up, or I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Texas Tech, they've got some money to do it, and have you seen them play? I'm incredibly not impressed with them at all. Arkansas, yeah, that job's open too. Yeah, they let a lot of alcohol do a lot of their basing decisions. Lane just needs to stay at Oxford. Yeah, I know, that's me personally. Hey, I'm not leaving. Oh, guys, Lane could build this into even something more. He's definitely got the NIL thing figured out. The portal thing and how it's going to, open and close, which will be the first of the year or so. He's got that figured out. Getting the right players. This is all he's ever done. I mean, guys, he's never done nothing else. Saban he didn't come for money like Lane did. Lane come for money. He hung out in the locker rooms with Junior Seau and those guys at USC, back in the day when he was young. His dad was Monty Kiffin, invented the cover 3, the Tampa 2, whatever you want to call it. He's pretty good at what he does. Now, on the other side, personally, he's a little colorful. Get your popcorn ready, those type of things. I think it's kind of funny. He don't bother me. He's got a little smart aleck to him, which I do too. And that's fine. But when you give it to him, just be ready for him to respond, and don't get mad when he gets back at you. Like this, you had this chump come through a while ago on the page, which is fine. I know when the page is growing, when the page grows, you're going to have people, come through. Some people, this guy said, I need to lose some weight for my health, and that's fine. Hey, he can have his opinion, and he's just seeing my face. He don't know I'm 6'4", and I could probably break him in half, and I bench press more than he's probably ever seen in the weight room. And that's fine. He's small, and it makes him feel bigger to make people seem small, but it don't bother me, but I give it back. So, there ain't nothing small about me, but maybe that's his problem, but it's not mine. But if I give it back like Lane does, then, what up, Big L? If I give it back, don't get TO'd because I say something back, because we can all have a good time. But I like Lane. I don't think it's all a big deal. I don't think it's a big, thing how he kind of acts and carries on. He's a little colorful, and that's fine, but dude, I think he's done a good job. Why? Me personally, why would you want to leave that? Why? Well, Lane could have a statue built for him. He could be the Bear Bryant of Ole Miss. Look, guys, if he goes to LSU, we know what he's got to follow. Well, I mean, kind of Nick Saban, and he's, and and coach, Les Miles on out here, and then you got Ed Orders. You're going to be compared to the coaches that's won it. LSU's won it before. They got Heisman winner. They just had a Heisman winner. It ain't been that long. They've had two. And if you go to Florida, my gosh, man, the old guys my age, we think Steve Spurrier is one of the greatest. You're going to be compared to him. And then Urban done what he done, in the 2000s down there in Florida with Tebow and all that crowd, all the games that they won. But at Ole Miss, he could be that guy to write his name in stone and say, Lane Kiffin, the one that, took them to the first playoff and won them their first national championship. This Chambliss kid's not a joke, man. He's good. Have you seen their tailback run? He's good. I'm just saying, man, they've got something to do there. Baltimore Way Stadium and Kiffin Field, it could be that. That's why he didn't want to. That's why it kind of. I always felt like they did offer him a job at Bama, and he didn't take it. I felt like that's why he didn't take the Bama job, because you're just always going to be behind Nick. And he respects Nick, absolutely. He's kind of like a dad to him, sort of. He gave him a chance to get back into coaching. If it wasn't for Nick, Lane did it himself, but Nick gave him an open room to say, all right, here's your office, here's your place, and we're going to give you time and let people see what you can do. Lane, he was given a chance by Saban. So I would just kind of be surprised if he left, because it seemed like he wants to walk to the beat of his own drum. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. All right, let's move on with a few more topics. Then we'll look at the schedule this week. Now, don't forget, tomorrow night, we're going to really dig into the games, talk about hows and whys and keys to the winning the games. The Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Bama, and Auburn. We're going to really talk about some of them, Georgia Tech, too, if you want. Right now, let's get some of these here. The new format changes were set to change the December the 1st of this year. Talking about this, 16-team playoff. They were supposed to be coming December 1st. Well, today they've decided, hold up, wait a minute. Let's wait till January 23rd. They're going to wait till on in the playoffs, championship week. They want to see how this format runs out again for this 12-team playoff before they go for the 16-team playoff. That's what they're going to do. So they're going to hold up. They're going to wait. And that's fine. I think they should. Yeah, if I don't think Navarre would leave for Penn State. Is it a move up? I don't think nobody really ever left Bama. We had some guys get fired and stuff. Mississippi, it could be that. They could change the whole, the Mississippi River could be the Mississippi River. What if they change that? He's got a great opportunity. I just, I would kind of be disappointed in Lane if he leaves. Just saying. So that's the date. They'll change the format. January 23rd, 2026 is going to be the new date when they're going to decide to turn this into basketball, make a 16-team playoff. The FCS, Jeff, don't they think 32 teams? I think they're 32. And we'll talk about a 3-loss Alabama team making it in the playoffs, them losing in the SEC title game if they beat Auburn. What do y'all think about that? Stew on that for a minute. Let's get through a couple of more of these here. We're going to talk about some players, Aguilar and Pavia news, and then we're going to look at the games for Thursday, Friday. But round table topic, what is the deal? What is the deal? This is a round table topic. The deal is, let's put it in the chat and get everybody's reaction. That's the roundtable topic. I'm just incredibly bothered by this, just absolutely tremendously. I just can't believe that this is the day and age of high school football. This is college football, man. Players spitting on another player, and we just had a guy, a quarterback or something yesterday. Players spitting on somebody. I don't even. It's not even a. It's going to be somebody's. It will be bad for the health. Big L, if you're still on here, tell somebody what happens if they would spit on you. High school, when you was at college, whatever. I mean, in pads or out of pads. Tell them what goes down when you cross. If you're from the other side of the water, where we're from over there, you spit on somebody, bro. That's just. I don't even care about the nasty, bro. I've had crap, puke, any about every all kind of stuff you think been poured on me, splattered in my face, or whatever. Dude, you're out there playing ball and you spit on a guy. That is a ass whooping coming. It's going to happen right then. There's no reaction of hey, hey, what's wrong with you and shoving. It's just right there on time. It's going to happen right now. You're going to get picked up and you're going to get dumped on your head. That's just, you can't do that, man. Yeah. Lance played ball at high level, played over at Cedar Bluff. It's, I mean, it's not like you don't even shove somebody. Has anybody ever spit on you, Lance, back in the day? That wasn't a thing, back in the day. And did it happen at college time, or that ever happened to you? Let me ask a guy on here. We got, he's really been there and done that. Has everybody ever spit on you? And I'm sure I know what happened if they did, because I know how you was raised. And that, ooh, man, it's just super disrespectful. To me, it's just me. It's on okay, he said no. And see what I'm saying? And Lance, he's from that earlier 2000 era, right. Yeah. I didn't even remember Lance. He's saying it right there. Too much respect. I didn't even think about doing something like, are you kidding me? I know his daddy and if he'd have seen him, oh my God. You just don't do it because your daddy would have been mad. Mom would have killed me if I'd spit on somebody. She's like, what's wrong with you? Are you retarded or something? Or are you stupid? You just don't. It's just something you don't do. And I don't know where in the crap, where are these players? Where does it start? I mean, what kind of, it's just terrible. It's so way out of line. I mean, if you don't like bro, you can chatter and chirp and cuss. I mean, football is a crazy, it's wild out there. Lance, man, it's cussing and hollering and grabbing, slanging, grab dudes' helmets, grab them between the legs, try to twist their ankles, grab them, inside their thighs and pinch and poke them to the face mask in the eyes. All that stuff straight legal. Yeah, I mean, in the NFL, they're throwing them out like the next week or something. They're fining them. I'm telling you, bro, if I'm a college coach and I see you spin on a dude, you're done. I don't need no freaking crap birds flying around the program because there's just absolutely no sense in that at all. I want to see where y'all was at on this. It's happening, man. If y'all keep up with just sports news and it coming by on these streams, these podcasts, these people are talking about it, dog. Dude. I mean, it's like every day I'm hearing this. There's going to be Monday Night Football in a little bit. It's happening in the pros. And the college guys are hearing it about it and stuff, and they're doing it. And you know what's going to happen, man? Those high school players, it's going to lead to that kind of stuff. It's crap. I just can't deal with it. Yep, that's exactly what another coach said. It starts at home. When you have a good home life, you don't know any better. and they see it at home and they hear about it, and like, you know, it's just something that's kind of done. Bro, I don't ever even thinking about doing that. Something. I mean, fighting people. I don't even remember thinking about doing something like we carried. I mean, stuff like another example. I carried a pocket knife to school. I never even thought about cutting nobody with it, and got in fights with schoolmates with a knife in my pocket. I didn't. We just fight. I mean, I didn't think about spitting on nobody or cut. These people. It's bad parents. That's where it comes from. All right, what about this one now, guys? Lance, you may have some time left if you want to go back at it. There, Pavia and Joey Aguilar, they're going to look for a ruling that NCAA, that your junior college time, so any type of junior college small stuff you did, if you got hurt, you can come out and use your red shirt now, or you can sub away from some of this junior college time and you can go back and play some more. So they're thinking Pavia, Joey Aguilar at Tennessee, they're going to apply for this. So Aguilar is going to try to ride off this pigtail, and because, man, Pavia's cool to watch. He's got a huge ego. It's way bigger than his talent. The teams he really had to beat, he couldn't. He actually lost in the game trying too hard because he is good, but he's not him. He's not Tim Tebow. He's not Cam Newton. He's good. He's a good college player, man. And he's just trying to hang around college and make money. Bro, go get a job. It's done. Go down to Costco. They pay good money and just get you a job. There's plenty of work around up there in Nashville for him, Tennessee, over at Knoxville for Aguilar. Guys, Aguilar's been to like 5 schools. He's been around all over the place. And so that's something that's going on in the news. I wanted to share that with you guys before we get into some Thursday and Friday night games. Let's see. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Yeah, Chris Winkie and him and who was that other guy? There's a guy that played somewhere else. Guy, he was like 27, man. It's kind of embarrassing. Yeah, Trinidad is. Yeah, I don't know what is his background. Has he been around a bunch of different schools? I don't know much about him, man. He's a good football player though. But Pavia, Aguilar, that little lawsuit deal there, going to Supreme Court, blah, blah, blah. That's what they're looking at, man. They're looking at trying to get another year. Now, we got about 10, 15 minutes left. Let's just look at a few games here. There are games tomorrow night. Bowling Green's going to be at Massachusetts. Western Michigan's going to be at Eastern Michigan. One's on ESPNU at 3:30, and then Eastern Michigan will host Western Michigan at 6:30 on ESPN2. Thursday game, Navy at Memphis. That'll be a good game. So tomorrow night will be our Tuesday night show, and we'll dive deeper into some of these games. Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Okay, we'll just get some times here. 11 o'clock ABC. Jot that down in your notebook there. Utah is going to play at Kansas, 11 o'clock ESPN. The next 3 games are 11 o'clocks. CBS is going to have Iowa at Nebraska, good game. Ohio at Buffalo on ESPNU. Kent State at Northern Illinois. And 2 o'clock then, FS1 is going to have Air Force at Colorado State. Number 4, Georgia at Georgia Tech at 2:30 on ABC. Georgia's favored by 13.5. And, do you think? I don't know if Tech beats them, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think Georgia may cover. They're rolling pretty good right now. Kirby's a great coach. He knows he knows how to run that machine and how to push the gas down slowly and change that gear And it's playoff time, and it's time to change the gear. And you can tell last week they're kind of doing that now. So that game's at 2:30. Now North Texas in this bracket, and we'll take a look at it. They're going to host Temple at 2:30, which North Texas is favored by 3 touchdowns. So, but Indiana's at Purdue, which they're favored by 28. A&M at Texas at 6:30 on ABC. Arizona State on Fox. That is at 5. It's going to be a late game at 8 o'clock on Friday night. So we're going to miss all these games, probably. We're supposed to be going to Plainview. Anniston Bulldogs is going to be traveling up to Plainview and probably be up there to catch that game. Now, Saturday, Ohio State's at Michigan at 11 o'clock on Fox that morning to kick off your morning. What is their – I can't believe this stupid thing. Over under there, Ohio State's favored by 9. Ooh, Texas Tech at West Virginia, favored by 3 touchdowns. Miami at Pitt, they're favored by a touchdown. These are all 11 o'clock games Saturday morning. Houston at Baylor is going to be on TNT and HBO Max. What? HBO Max. HBO Max has decided to get – okay, alrighty then. Clemson at South Carolina, 11 o'clock, SEC Network. SC favored by 2.5. Really? All right. Colorado at Kansas State, 11. Iowa State at Oklahoma State at 11. Iowa State favored by 2 touchdowns. Eastern Carolina at Florida Atlantic, 11, ESPN Plus. Trying to find some good ones here. There's a lot of games on it at 11 and 12 that are just not real good. Western Kentucky is favored by 2.5 at JSU. 1 o'clock. ESPN Plus. Louisiana Monroe at Louisiana. UAB at Tulsa. Oregon at Washington, 2:30 on CBS. LSU at Oklahoma, 2:30 ABC. 2:30 Vandy at Tennessee, ESPN. Man. Missouri at Arkansas, 2:30 SC. Man, y'all got to do better. I can't watch all of them at one time. I would like to see LSU Oklahoma, and I'm curious about Vanderbilt at Tennessee. It's on ESPN. Missouri at Arkansas, yeah. Kennesaw State at Liberty at 2:30. That's going to be a good game. It's on CBS Sports Network. James Madison at Coastal Carolina. That'll be another good game. Florida State at Florida's at 3:30 on ESPN2. Bama and Auburn, 6:30 on ABC. What is the line still at Bama? It was 5.5. It is 6.5. Quay Russo injuries for Bama. I've only heard this from one person though, so take this with a little bit of salt. I heard Russo is out till he will not play the Iron Bowl or the SEC championship game. If he comes back, it's going to be after that to like the first week of the playoff. So we're talking about close to Christmas before Quay Russo's back. I've just heard that from one person. He may be he's not playing Saturday versus Auburn. If he shows up SEC game, we'll see when we get the injury report after that. But shout out Brody Dalton, our guy from Fife, Alabama, multi state champion from Fife, Brody Dalton. Great young man, really pulling for him. Coach Short, what's up, man? Yep. Okay, good. We'll catch up with you over there. We're talking about Brody. He played at Fife his career, and he went up against my son some when we would play them in that dynasty run that Fife was in. He is a giant. If y'all know me, you know I'm 6'4". Brody in high school, he was a little bit taller than me then. I mean, I seen like when he was at Troy, he'd come home for a game at Fife, and I run into him. I mean, I'm striking him like his chin. He's huge. Y'all seen him? He's 89, plays at Bama. He's a tight end at Alabama. And I heard two different places mention Brody that Russo's out. They was like, well, Dalton catches the ball. He can catch it for 10 and, still pushing people out of the way like he did the other day. Let me tell you, if you know the area and you know Fife, you know that boy was come up through what he went through. He's a winner. He knows how to win. He knows what's expected of him, things to do, to how to win. And he had good stats at Troy. He left Troy to come graduate at Bama because he thought he could come play. I'm telling you, man, yeah, put the boy in there and give him a shot. I'm telling you, he's big. He's going to be hard to tackle. I think he's bigger than Quay Russo. I'm pretty sure he is. Brody's a big old boy, man. Miami don't travel well in the north. It's supposed to snow in Pitt. Yeah, that would be very interesting, Jeff. Very. Yeah, well, that YouTube TV does have I can watch 4 games at one time. So I guess that's what I'll be doing. No update centuries on Tate and Smith, knowing the importance of the game they will play. Yeah, they got to get in there and play. All right, last few games here. SMU at Cal, 7 o'clock that night. Notre Dame, North Carolina State, 6:30. Notre Dame and Stanford. Notre Dame still not playing nobody. Fresno State, Wyoming's at Hawaii at 10. Here's a question I had. Troy's at Southern Miss, by the way, at 2:30 on ESPN Plus. And again, I'll make sure I shout out our local guys at my alma mater. Jacksonville State University will host Western Kentucky. It's at 1 o'clock, and Western Kentucky's favored by 2.5. Let's look at the old Hilltoppers. They are 8-3 right now with losses to Toledo, FIU, and they played LSU this weekend. They got some pretty good players, man. They're pretty legit. Yeah, they're third in that conference behind Kennesaw State, and JSU is, of course, winning the conference. They're 6-1 conference, 7-4 overall. So Western Kentucky's coming looking for – they're going to come hunt some heads, man. Very interesting. Western Kentucky's quarterback, we seen this guy play the other day. The Tisdale kid, 1,100 yards passing. He rushed for some yards the other day. They're running back. The Parrish kid's almost a 500-yard rusher. That Wester kid got 81 tackles. So that's had to shout out there to my local, my alma mater. I say us, the ASU Gamecocks. So that's some games for the weekend. Tell us which ones you're probably most interested in, and we will come back tomorrow. Yeah, I thought they kind of did too. I do too. We sure got a running back from Carrollton. Oh, okay. He committed today. Oh, yeah, and we've talked about Caden Fife from 4-star defensive lineman. He plays at Chattooga, where Dean is at up there. He committed to Tennessee another day. Yeah, I know. I hadn't really ever found no good ones. I've seen some, and I had a poster that I had at my other place, other house, Jeff. You remember when we had the bookshelf and stuff, and the TV behind us. Jeff remembers that way back 2 years ago, three. So, let's see what else have we got here on the notes. I think that's about it. So we'll jump off here. Everybody enjoy your Monday night. Go catch some Monday night football. Didn't want to stay on. I didn't want to do an hour. No, we got talking about the spitting situation, which really ticks me off. Man, that makes me so mad. That kind of stuff. And some of the players still looking to be trying to play 6-7 years. We're going to have to deal with that. A few injuries at Bama, still looking at some of them. And a lot of coaching rumor stuff, man. LSU's throwing a lot of money at Kiffin, supposedly. If I'm him, I'm not leaving, man. Stay there. You got what you need. And build your legacy there at Ole Miss. And we're going to be hearing from that after this weekend, because the Egg Bowl is it Friday? It is, yeah. It's Friday at lunch. So we'll get to see that. We'll miss some of the we'll miss Indiana, Purdue, which I could care less. We'll get to see Georgia Tech game, but we'll be headed out by probably by 5:30 or so. So we'll see how it goes. Thank all y'all for coming by. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys and girls tomorrow night live right here, 6 o'clock for Big Talk Tuesday. Peace.